In just one night, over 100 lives were lost. The sky over Gaza once again turned orange, not from the sunset, but from explosions. It happened suddenly, and the world woke up to headlines of yet another deadly strike. But why did Israel strike Gaza again? What went wrong with the ceasefire everyone thought would last? And how did this decades-long conflict even reach this point? On the night of October 28, 2025, Israel launched a series of intense airstrikes across the Gaza Strip. The Israeli military said it was responding to what it called a severe breach of the ceasefire after a deadly firefight earlier in the day between its soldiers and Palestinian militants left one Israeli soldier dead. In just a few hours, at least 104 Palestinians were killed, including 35 children, and more than 200 others left injured. All residential blocks, makeshift camps, and even a facility for cancer patients were hit. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called the strikes necessary defensive action, accusing Hamas of violating the ceasefire terms. But Hamas denied responsibility, calling the strikes unprovoked aggression. So why did this happen? Tensions had already been building when earlier this week, Hamas returned the remains of an Israeli hostage who had been killed years ago. Instead of easing tensions, the move sparked outrage among Israel's far-right ministers, who accused Hamas of stalling the return of other hostages. Pressure on Netanyahu mounted, demanding a strong response. When the border clash happened, it became the final spark. Within hours, the Israeli Defense Forces launched what they called targeted operations, but in a densely populated region like Gaza, that meant devastation on a massive scale. To understand why peace in Gaza never lasts, we need to go back more than 70 years. In 1948, after the creation of Israel, hundreds of thousands of Palestinians were displaced, an event they call the Nakba, or catastrophe. Over the decades, wars and uprisings shaped the region, from the 1967 Six-Day War to the Oslo Peace Accords of the 1990s. Then in 1987, a militant group called Hamas emerged. In 2007, after winning elections, Hamas took control of Gaza, leading Israel and Egypt to impose a blockade that continues today. Since then, Gaza has endured repeated wars: 2008 to 2009, 2012, 2014, and 2021, each leaving thousands of lives. Israel says it's defending itself against rocket attacks. Palestinians say they're resisting decades of occupation and blockade. For people in Gaza, every night feels uncertain: power cuts, food shortages, and fear of the next strike. For Israelis near the border, every siren brings panic. Both sides live under constant fear, a fear passed on through generations. This recent attack was not the beginning, and sadly, it may not be the end. Until trust replaces retaliation, this land will remain trapped between rockets and rubble. This is the story of Gaza, a story that the world keeps watching, yet no one has managed to end.